to date of what's transpiring at this homestead in Kabarak, Akisa.
At the homestead, they're mentioning very categorically that the function at their particular homestead will be a very private session for family and, of course, the president and VVIPs. So, of course, the larger public will be following these proceedings from the screens that are situated in various parts of the country, including Afra Stadium in Nakuru, where our reporter Alan Ochanda is, as well as the Sacho in the county of Baringo, being the birthplace of the late retired President Daniel Toroitich arap Moi. That is where he was born, bred and went to school. A very special place that indeed we expect the people of Baringo to also follow closely the proceedings from the live screens that they will be, granted there in Sacho. What you're seeing on your screens now, live pictures from the Lee Funeral Home, seemingly that finally some action. We have been bringing in pictures from at least 5 a.m. Timothy Otieno spoke to us shortly saying perhaps we might be seeing the president's body leaving Lee Funeral Home anytime now in that procession that will lead to the Wilson Airport. Mike.
Absolutely, and that right there you see right now on your screens is the hearse that's carrying the remains of the late president.
I can't talk to them back unless we're here.
All right, and what we see there is the procession that has now left Lee Funeral Home with the body of the late President Daniel Toroitich arap Moi making its way to Wilson Airport, where, of course, we're going to have the body get onto a military chopper and taken to Kabarak, where this event is going to continue. And Akisa, as we can see, again, just judging by what has been happening for the last few days, it is done with precision. We're expecting the body in Kabarak by 8 a.m. This is now 7 a.m., exactly 1 hour before that. So chances are it's going to get there bang on time.
And of course, our reporters will be stationed both at the Wilson Airport, where Murimi Mwangi is on standby shortly. He will be giving us updates from that end, and as well at the Kabarak airstrip, where Duncan Haemba and Ali Manzu are. What you're seeing now is Mbagathi Way, where that particular procession, that particular convoy is expected to snake through Mbagathi Way through to the Wilson Airport, of course, for that body to be airlifted to the Kabarak airstrip. That is the plane, the aircraft that will be carrying the body of the late retired President Daniel Toroitich arap Moi, Kenya Air Force aircraft there. Once again, just a clear indication that this is an entire military full honors procedure for the late president as he's led to his interment today.
Absolutely, and as given by the declaration by the president that he's going to be accorded full military and civilian honors, we see this happening today. Akisa, something that of course we know that is a little bit different is that the body has been carried in a hearse as opposed to the gun carriage that has been carrying him throughout. But I guess this is because the main ceremony really is going to be taking place in Kabarak. Of course, there are many Kenyans who are anticipating and waiting for that 19-gun salute, which is only accorded to heads of states and military, senior military officials, as respect him being the, chief of, what do you call it, one of the lead, a former president of Kenya, this is an honor that is accorded to him. So, of course, we're waiting for the body now to get to Wilson Airport, where you can see the aircraft, which is an Air Force aircraft waiting and is going to be transporting the body from Nairobi to Kabarak, where we have established our presence with Ali Manzu and Duncan Khaemba, who are already at the airstrip in Kabarak and are going to be giving us details as this happens. We've already seen the gun carriage, which was being used in Nairobi, or maybe a different one that is already in Kabarak, that is going to be carrying the casket of the late president and transporting it to his final resting place.
Remember, it is the Kabarak airstrip where we first saw very heavy military presence since we started this broadcast at 5 a.m. And as you mentioned, the gun carriage is also already on standby at the Kabarak airstrip that is expected to carry the remains of the late retired President Daniel Toroitich arap Moi up to his Kabarak homestead. And of course, that casket being carried on the gun carriage signifies a very high military honor. But back to what you're seeing on your screens, the procession to the Wilson Airport, the convoy there slowly but surely heading to the Wilson Airport, where the remains of the late president will, of course, be put into the Kenya Air Force aircraft, and then, of course, to be transported to the Kabarak airstrip, where, as we mentioned, everyone is on standby, from the gun carriage to the military, to the barrage of military officers that is currently at the Kabarak airstrip. So, of course, everything really is happening with precision, from the Lee Funeral Home to the Wilson Airport to Kabarak airstrip, and finally to the Kabarak homestead, where there will be a private function. Everything happening with clarity and timing, very, very precise.
Absolutely.
The late president was a good timekeeper, both in life and in death.
And in death, yes, he was a stickler for time. He was also an impeccable dresser. He seemed to do things with a lot of, precision. And according to the program that we have, and it seems to be running on time, it's expected that the funeral procession will be between 8 and 10 a.m. As we see now the body right there in the hearse, that the hearse that you see on your screens is what is carrying the body of the late president on its way to Wilson Airport. I'm sure we are soon going to be joining Murimi Mwangi, who is on standby at Wilson Airport. We've already seen the aircraft that is going to be carrying the body is ready and on the runway, waiting for the body to get there, then be taken to Kabarak. But according to the program, we have from 10 to 11 a.m., we're going to be having the reading of some scriptures. The first, the second, and the eulogy are going to be read. Between 10 and 12:15, we're going to be having tributes. But later on, we'll also be joined by Colonel Cyrus Oguna, who is the government spokesperson, to just give us an overview of what is expected of the program and how it is expected to run. Of course, we do know that we're expecting the president also to be at the Kabarak, at the home, where we've seen Chris Thairo giving us the preparations are already in place. Government official seats are ready. Family are ready. And of course, we're waiting to see how this is going to pan out, Akisa.
And I should mention that the flight from Wilson Airport to the Kabarak airstrip is expected to take at least 30 minutes. So everything really happening within the prescribed time. But I think this really is the chopper that will carry the remains of the late Commander-in-Chief, retired President Daniel Toroitich arap Moi, the military chopper there. Murimi Mwangi on the ground will confirm for us a bit later what exactly do we expect to happen, who will get into the Kenya Air Force aircraft that we've seen, of course, who will we see getting into that military chopper there. So, of course, those are some of the details Murimi Mwangi will clarify for us. He is at the Wilson Airport, ready